Happy Saturday, y'all. Welcome back to Sassy Ladies. This is Sassy Semantics, where we're going to dive into words and phrases to kind of motivate us to look at them differently so we can apply them to our life and really observe and observate, what these words, phrases, and may mean for you. Last week we had the word of the week was reform. Reform last week was someone who makes changes for improvement. So I told you guys to go out there um, for that week to really observe, what areas in your life that you need to change or would like to change and make that implementation of changing it. So for me, what I noticed that I needed was, in what areas I needed was time management. Time management stood out so much for me this week that just passed because I felt like I was all over the place, and I definitely want to be present in each moment of each task that I'm doing. So, my time management I had to restructure. So I felt like I wasn't getting enough sleep, and so I said, "Well, Lord, how am I gonna get more sleep?" Okay, time management came up. So I put in the lovely chat GPT. Love AI. You hear me? AI is doing big things out here. And created a time management calendar for me. And when I say that thing spit it out, and you can refine it how you want when you start using it, um, it gave me a wonderful outline calendar for me to create time to be able to spend in productivity. I still work in a brick and mortar. I physically am not there yet, but as everybody had to be called back into work, so is your girl for the moment because I don't want to work in a brick and mortar anymore. So I'm orchestrating and doing things that I'm not going to be working in a brick and mortar long unless it's my own. So um, I had to create a schedule for time management because I felt like I was all over the place with my time and spending more time, um, less time getting adequate sleep than everything else that I got to do within life with myself, my kids, the projects that I'm doing to get my business plans out and going, along with working in brick and mortar and also scheduling time for family and friends. And so I wanted to hone in on creating something that I can better schedule my time and stuff with. I'm a visual. I think I feel like I'm an all learner type of person. I learn by hands on, physically seeing it, and also I can grasp the concept in reading it. Right. So I have all learning styles. With this, I need something tangible, physical that I can see so I can knock it off, right? And if you don't have a day planner that has the time slots in it so you can map out your time so that you can feel like you being absolutely productive in your day, you need to invest in one. That's if you want to go to the next level. So yes, I identified the area that I needed to work on last week, which was time management, and I created me a calendar in order to implement that in this week coming. So that's the recap for the last week's word for reform. Okay, this week's word, it's a good one. It's a good one, and it's a good one. It's called strongholds. I know everybody heard of the word strongholds. If you haven't, we're going to tell you what it is. It's old beliefs that you have placed a strong protective hedge around the lie that you believe, right? What does that mean? What it means to me is old things that I believed in that's not serving purpose in this season of my life. I had to eliminate, and get rid of. So this week I want you to, one, here's a tool for you to do, to be observant of your thoughts or what you're telling yourself from the observation person standpoint. And don't be judgmental. It's not for you to analyze and be judgmental. What I want you to do is get in the habit of just observing the inner you. When you do that, you will start to see, and it's good for you to have a journal for that too, so you can write down how often and see. I'm analytical. Like, I like numbers. I like, data. And if I have the data and it's showing a repeated pattern, I can change it, right? So I took and wrote down the thoughts that I was thinking, whether they was positive or negative, but we honing on the stronghold, so we're going to hone in on the negative thought that you may be thinking or saying about yourself that you might not even be aware that, hey, I'm even thinking in this capacity. So I want you to take this week and write down from the standpoints of an observer what your thoughts are, the negative thoughts, and see how many do you have. And then, after you have identified what those things are and how many they are, you understand that there's a problem. And how we're going to correct the problem is by identifying and declaring that there is a problem, right? So then after that, I want you to take yourself and start implementing positive, recorrective thoughts to trump the negative thoughts that you may have. Okay? And that is also your call to action. I want you to write down in your journal every time you have a negative thought. I want you to do it from the standpoint of an observer. Don't be judgmental on yourself. And then turn around and revise that negative thought to a positive one. And when it tries to re-arise and come up again to tell you something different, just keep doing that game. Okay? And tell me how it works out for you. So the word of the week for this week is strongholds. We are debunking and getting rid of limited beliefs that we have or had for last season to adopt new beliefs for this season. So in order to do that, you have to recognize what strongholds that you may have, what you're thinking, and then come up with an action plan in order to release it. All right? So I can't wait to get back next week and, speak with you and see it. Please leave a comment. Let me know what strongholds you might be having and any questions or anything that you might have that you've been thinking about. Because here on Sassy Ladies, like minds think alike. And we're definitely going to be getting into conversations with other entrepreneurs, other experts and stuff like that to really, be impactful for our audience. So keep yourself tuned, tapped in, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.